Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's table talk would be um, anxiety, and I can relate to this topic very closely because I suffer from anxiety all the time. And I wanted to talk about it and run through some of the examples and then talk about some of the positive antidotes that I apply to these symptoms of anxiety. And I can, anxiety has so many symptoms, but I suffer from some of the restlessness symptoms I suffer from the paranoia symptoms. Paranoia symptoms, that's because the anxiety have your heart rate racing so much, and then I have the chest pains, and then I have the vertigo, and then I suffer from the racy thoughts and the unwanted thoughts, the thoughts that you're not trying to keep at bay, but for some reason they bleed into your thinking. I talk a lot about my trauma as a child, but as I got older, my thoughts, my anxiety thoughts are always about, is my children, I don't want my children to be harmed. I don't want my grandchildren to be harmed. And they always play an image in my head of something going wrong with them. It's always someone is getting abducted, or someone is getting harmed or hit by a car or something. It's those kind of thoughts in your mind, and that's what gets your heart rate racing, and that's what gives you the chest pains. And because in your thinking, your thoughts know that you can't control that situation. You are out of control. You can't fix that situation, and it's hard to take it into reality and fictitious. You know how we address the issue: is it reality or is it fictitious? If it's fictitious, then I know how to throw it out my mind. When you're dealing with anxiety, these unwanted thoughts, they have a tendency to bleed into your thinking and affect your mood. And it is, believe it or not, it is still, no matter what, even though you're thinking, oh, that's not going to happen, I don't believe that's true, it still bleeds into your thinking, and your heart rate comes up, and then now you're walking around, you're calling, you're checking on your kids, is everything okay? Is everybody okay? And it always have that reaction to the thought, when instead of normally I would jump up and challenge the thought, like, okay, I need to see evidence of, in order for me to separate what's real and what's not real. When you're dealing with anxiety, it plays on your thinking, and it puts you in an arena where you cannot control the image. You can't control, if your child is in another city, you can't control it. Jump on a plane and run to that other city to save your child. So it plays on your thinking, and it's very bad, and it will make you physically sick, because it's got you racing, and it's up at night, and you're up at night. So there's your sleep. So you lose your sleep. And then the paranoids, because then now you're thinking bad thoughts. Something's happened. Oh, now you're thinking death thoughts. Oh, this might be harmful, and my child might be dead, or somebody somewhere laying around shot or killed or something like that. So for when you're dealing with anxiety, the first thing for me is I have to bring myself back into a calm setting. I have to bring myself into a calm setting and bring myself to a realization that things are going to be out of my control. If my children are in another state, that is out of my control. I won't be able to jump on a plane and fly or be superhero or do anything. It is out of my control. So that right there will bring your mind to a simple, calming balance, so you can have clarity enough to make sense, to piece things together. And another thing for me that will bring my heart rate down, I will self-talk myself into a calm state. Self-talk, we'll talk about this one going forward too, but self-talk really is so beneficial and so helpful, because it'll make you make sense of stuff, and it brings you back to the present state. Like right now, I'm thinking of a harmful thing, and I can't fix this problem. If my children are wherever they are, I can't fix this problem. So it puts me in a state of out of my control. I can't fix it. So then what is in my control that'll bring me into another state of calm is I can text them. I could text my kid, hi, checking in, wanted to see if you're okay. And then you can get a sigh of relief that way. And then your kid texts you and say, yeah, we're good, we're in bed. Or, yep, we're in the house, everybody's okay. And then that brings you a sigh of relief. But self-talk is such a good tool, because first of all, you want to bring your mind back to normalcy, because that's what's out of control. Your mind is out of control because it's giving you those silly images and those fictitious images, and then they take it into a paranoid state because they take it so drastic, like everybody's harming themselves or either someone's dead. You want to come off that ledge. Everybody, no one's dead, everybody's fine, we're calm, we're good, and you're going to bring your heart rate down. Sometimes music is a good reliever. Bring your heart rate down. And self-talk is a good reliever, because self-talk is going to talk you off of that ledge, that anxiety ledge. So now you can breathe. You don't have vertigo. You're not restless. You're not paranoid thinking. And your thoughts are not racing. So now you can breathe and have clarity of thinking. So sometimes I walk and self-talk at the same time, because anxiety gives you a lack of concentration. And then when you're up and racing with your heart racing, it makes you tired. You know, the whole intent is to wear you down. It makes you tired and you're sweating. You don't want that. So I walk and I do a self-talk, and I give the realization that things are out of my control, but what is in my control can still bring me to a calm state. Simple things as getting a group text with my kids, doing a small check-in time, simple things like that to kill that notion that, oh, my kids are in harm's way, I have to do this. That's that sense of anxiety. We want to relieve the anxiety. The whole purpose of when we have those symptoms, we want to relieve them in a positive way, and that way we can bring our mind to a balance. If we bring our mind to a balance, we can have clarity. And once we have clarity, we can conquer any symptom from mental illness on any level. Because when you have symptoms from mental illness, it affects your body. When it affects your body, it affects your thinking. And then before you know it, you're acting irrationally, you're behaving irresponsibly. So we don't want that. We want to self-talk our way into a better state. We want to self-talk our way off the ledge so we can have clarity. And I wanted to talk about self-talk because self-talk is connected to our self-esteem. I want to do a definition for self-talk. I'll do a clinician definition for self-talk, and then I'll do my definition for self-talk, because you always can personalize it towards yourself. Self-talk, an act or practice of talking to oneself either aloud or silently and mentally. Positive self-talk. Now, I'm a loud talker. I like to talk out loud. I like to put it in the atmosphere because I believe it changes the atmosphere when I talk aloud. Some people like to talk quiet to themselves in a meditative state, which is fine. It still gets done. But talking to yourself, talking to myself, it takes my self-esteem value and increases it, because mental illness, when you're dealing with depression, when you're dealing with self-loathing, it takes away how you feel about yourself. So that's why I think self-assessments are so important, because I have self-talks inside my self-assessments. My self-talks inside my self-assessments, I do gratitude journals. Now, those gratitude journals for me are more than just saying, oh, you are having a good day, or you are very nice and pretty today. No, mine's hold me accountable for what I do and what I say. So my gratitude journal every day is, today is a day that I go outside and I spend 1 hour connecting with a person. Today is a day that I go outside and I volunteer for 1 hour. Today I go out and I do, because that's one of my fears, connecting with people, because I see people as threats. So in my gratitude journal, I hold myself accountable for one of the things that I normally wouldn't do. But then I feed myself those gratitudes, and it makes me feel like I can conquer anything, I can challenge myself, and I can win anything, I can do anything. Bringing my mind to a balance, I can do that by applying good practices and good antidotes to my symptoms. I can get that done. It takes more than a day, I'll tell you that. It takes more than a year. Sometimes you fight every day. You fight every day. Every day I'm doing something. I'm chipping at my life to get better and better and better. And if it takes my lifetime in order for me to get to my goal, then I'm cool with that, because I'm not running a race. I'm taking my time and I'm making myself feel good every day. And having value, self-talk gives me that value, and it makes me write into my gratitude journal so I can feel like I'm worth something. I'm cool with that too. So today was my day that I was not going to let anxiety take over my day. So I feel powerful. I feel accepted. And I feel like tomorrow I have my mental muscle. And I think we all can do that, one little big chip at a time. So you guys, table talk, share your thoughts, and I'll see you next time. Until then, let's start doing gratitude journals. Let's start talking about positive antidotes. And let's figure out what's a good patient point of view for mental illness. I know we have clinicians, but it's nice to hear a patient point of view when you're dealing with thriving with mental illness. Until next time, stay healthy.